Good Sunday afternoon. We are live here from the studios of the Country and Southern Gospel Network. We're making Melody with Roy is next. It's the 2nd of February 2025 and this is Making Melody with Roy. It feels pretty good to be back after Storm Éowyn brought havoc to our infrastructure here in Northern Ireland. I hope everyone is well and managed to survive the latest winter storm to bash the province. Yes, Storm Éowyn brought us winds in excess of 90 miles an hour and a rare red weather warning, which meant it was a danger to life. Basically, Northern Ireland closed down as the country faced huge problems. And I know for many, you were without power and had damage done to property. Our hearts and prayers go out to you all. We must give a special mention to the men and women of Northern Ireland Power. They were joined by engineers from the United Kingdom and Southern Ireland as they battled the elements to restore power to some 220,000 customers. For us, they were our real life heroes. Other than that, we've made it through the frumpy and bumpy days of the week and arrived on a great Sunday, packed with lots of great music and chat. Why not join me for the next 90 minutes? Let's ease ourselves into the early Sunday afternoon with a relaxing soundtrack of those all-time favourites and contemporary classics. The Chuckwagon Gang sings He Will Set Your Fields on Fire. Welcome to the programme.
There's a call that rings from the throne, it springs to all who are astray, saying, "Come, ye men, and your load of sin down at the altar lay." Many do not heed, for the chain of greed still crushes their desire. Be assured, my friend, if you still offend, He will set your fields on fire. He will set your fields on fire. If to sin is your desire, you have heard Jesus call. Heed it lest you soon must fall. Let the Lord your soul inspire. If you join the heavenly choir and rejoice with Him as the sun grows dim when He sets this world on fire. Take a friend's advice, make the sacrifice, completely turn from sin. Taking up the cross, counting earth as dross, let Jesus live within. When temptations come, keep on facing home, to Satan never hide. But rejoice and pray on that last great day when He sets this world on fire. He will set your fields on fire. If to sin is your desire, you have heard Jesus call. Heed it lest you soon must fall. Let the Lord your soul inspire. If you join the heavenly choir and rejoice with Him as the sun grows dim when He sets this world on fire. He will set your fields on fire. If to sin is your desire, you have heard Jesus call. Heed it lest you soon must fall. Let the Lord your soul inspire. If you join the heavenly choir and rejoice with Him as the sun grows dim when He sets this world on fire.
Yes, indeed. A wonderful song. Getting us started on the early morning afternoon shift. It was the Chuckwagon Gang, and He will set your fields on fire. Bluegrass gospel at its finest from a group who has influenced gospel music, the gospel music scene for all of 90 years. And the message, well, sometimes God has to go to extreme measures to get our attention. You are watching Making Melody with Roy. Friends, just before we move into the programme, can I ask us to remember the terrible plane crashes that occurred a few days ago in the United States? I'm sure, like me, you watched on in absolute horror as television pictures dominated our news channels within the past number of days. January 30th, and a military helicopter with 3 souls on board collided with an American Airlines aircraft as it descended into Reagan Airport in Washington, D.C. There were 64 souls on board the aircraft in total, which included 4 crew members and 3 military personnel in the helicopter. There were no survivors. The social media reels and news coverage of rescuers recovering bodies and wreckage are heartbreaking to watch. Almost 300 rescue personnel were involved in the rescue in the icy waters of the Potomac River. Unbearable sorrow and heartbreak beyond measure for family and friends of all involved. And as we as believers, and though we are separated by thousands of miles, nonetheless we mourn with the families who have lost loved ones, and we are truly joining with them in prayer and wrapping our arms around them in love and compassion. We remember the words of Jesus that he will send the Comforter. We now ask for his comforting presence for the sake of those grieving, and knowing, Lord, you will welcome us to your throne of grace. Meanwhile, on Friday past January the 31st, a small air ambulance plane crashed shortly after takeoff in the northeast suburb of Philadelphia. The aircraft was carrying 6 people, 2 doctors, 2 pilots, a patient and a family member, and was on a medical assignment returning to Mexico when the crash happened. The plane had just departed northeast Philadelphia airport when it crashed. There were some casualties on the ground. All 6 souls on board did not survive. One of those killed is believed to be a child. Our hearts are heavy as we receive this news. Let us lift up the victims, their families, and first responders impacted by this terrible tragedy. Let's remember them all in earnest prayer. Something I learned during the week, yes, in this cold weather, that birds are lactose intolerant, and we shouldn't leave bread or milk out during the cold weather. Instead, those high energy foods work well for them, such as berries, suet, and grated cheese. I'm Roy with an unmissable afternoon of old favourites and new discoveries. Definitely an old favourite, The Middleman, sung for us by David Patillo.
There was a mountain, and there were 3 trees. There was a good man, there were 2 thieves. A man called Barabbas was doomed for the tree, but Jesus took the middle one, and Barabbas went free. I love that man in the middle, because I know he first loved me. Praise to that man who died on Mount Calvary. The middleman made it possible that I could go free. A hill called Golgotha, the place of a skull. No yellow flowers, no trees in bloom. The scenery was so dull. 3 crosses stood black and bold against a darkened sky. Not from pain, but a broken heart, that middleman died. I love that man in the middle, possible that I could go free. Praise to that man who died on Mount Calvary. The middleman made it possible that I could go free.
The long and spirited history of gospel music is an inspiring story of hope, faith, and God's amazing love. Its soulful message not only touches the heart, but reaches into the depths of your very soul. From the singer who sings the song to those who live its story, gospel music is not just music, it's a way of life.
Okay, folks, let's do the drive over to the studio. Sunday afternoon program would not be complete if I didn't tell you about the journey over to the studio here in Tandragee in Northern Ireland. A very pleasant drive over to the studio this afternoon. Roads are quiet. Still lots of debris lying about on the roadside verge. So if you're out and about, folks, do take extra care because of the remnants of the storm. You know, I can't believe it's the 2nd of February. Where is our time going? And I know a lot of people find January a long, dreary month, and it can be, yes, believe me. And those on monthly pay, well, they're busy waiting to get paid. All of that aside, and it feels so good to be back and to be here in the studio. We are ready for a great programme of music, and I hope you've enjoyed the music so far, and I hope that you can keep me company. I'm here with the Fancy Biscuits, and you bring the tea and coffee, and together we'll embark on a musical journey which will make our Sunday afternoon complete. And just for the record, this is Making Melody with Roy. But before we continue with the music, going to do some names. Going to delve in and see who's watching with us today on the programme. And first on the leaderboard, the 2nd of February, our very first programme of a brand spanking new month. First in was Carl. That's our good friend down there in Carrickfergus, Carl Smith. Hello to Carl, and a very good afternoon. And of course, hello to Davy as well, to all the family, to the boys here at home, and to those overseas. Great to have you with us, Carl. And I know you're enjoying the music, because how do I know that? Well, you're sending those emojis, which are dancing literally up and down the screen here in the studio. Hello also to Joan McWhirter, our very good friend Joan. Great to see you in today, Joan, and I hope all is well. To the United States, and a very good morning and a very warm welcome to Karen Forsell. And if my memory serves me right, Karen, you are related to the Sheriff, Jim Brown, the Sheriff of Tandragee. Hope all is well and that you have a great Sunday, and above all else, that you enjoy the music here on Making Melody with Roy. We'll finish off this time around by going to Monterey, and a very dear friend lives in Monterey, and that's Eva, and Eva Thompson. And Eva has joined us today also. And I trust lunch is behind you, Eva. You're settling in the corner to enjoy the music and the chat here on Making Melody with Roy. More names as we move through the programme. Yes, I said every week. I do mean it. And time permitting, we'll get to mention everybody who has joined us today. If you would just be comfortable, Making Melody with Roy is open for business with plenty of great music on the menu. Some notable events which had our attention during the past number of weeks. After 15 months of war, Israel and Gaza entered into a peace agreement, which appears to be holding. Hostages are beginning to be released, with a huge humanitarian operation now underway. We continue to pray for this situation, that God would direct and guide those in authority, that they would have wisdom to progress the situation. While on Monday, the 20th of January, Donald Trump was sworn in as the 47th US president. The inauguration ceremony was held indoors at the Rotunda in Washington, rather than outdoors due to the cold weather. Heartwarming best describes this next song, and it's by Chris Johnson. That sounds like home to me.
Oh, just across the Jordan River, there's a place of everlasting joy and peace, where the tree of life is blooming there forever, and a crown of life is waiting there for me. And that sounds like home to me, right where I want to be. There'll be no tears or to fill my eyes again. The hills will echo with the story as we sing of His grace and glory, where the saints of God will be. That sounds like home to me. You know, just a few months ago, I had a dream about my old Uncle Legis. Legis was my friend who died going on 2 years now. So in my dream, I began to tell him how much I missed him and all, and how glad I was to see him. He never looked at me, but I noticed a smile come on his face as he looked through the fence and sung this very last verse. Oh, they say there's mansions there inside that city, a crystal river flowing down by the tree of life, where no pain or disappointments there to hurt us. And Jesus Christ Himself will be the light. And that sounds like home to me, right where I want to be. There'll be no tears or to fill my eyes again. The hills will echo with the story as we sing of His grace and glory, where the saints of God will be.
yeah, folks, a lot of you there making comments with reference to that particular song there by Chris Johnson. Joan, a lovely comment in there from Joan McWhirter. And that sounds like home to me. Yes, you enjoyed that, Joan. I certainly did also. And, you know, when I was picking the music, well, for the last 2 weeks, I kept coming back and back to that particular song. And that's how I decided to include it in today's playlist. I see another wee comment. I see comments from you all as you're enjoying the music so far on the programme today. And we see Gloria Miller-Green. And Gloria is over there in Ohio. And Gloria is certainly enjoying the music today also on the programme, which is good. It's good for me to know. And it means that I'm doing something right when you're getting a blessing from the music being played today. And it's so good to have our Australian friends with us this afternoon. Yeah. Late evening over there on the Gold Coast, and that's Brisbane, Australia, of course. Hi to Cheryl, and I'm not sure whether Pat and Tom are in at the moment. We're mentioning them anyway, because if they come in later on and play a catch-up, they'll see I did my duty in saying hello to them. And we'll say also hello to Des and Dorothy, and that's the Birds. And we know that they play a catch-up with the programmes as and when they can during the week. I hope everyone is well this Lord's Day. And I had been reading and seeing some pictures of rather unusual weather you folk are having out there in Australia. If my memory serves me right, I think it's something to do with a lot of flooding in a particular area. And I hope that everybody is well and everybody is safe and not affected by that flooding. I see Des had posted photos on social media of the flooding. To say, you know, our weather the world over seems to be getting pretty bad year on year. Thank you so much to Cheryl, to Pat and Tom, and to Des and Dorothy for joining us all the way from Brisbane, Australia. I'd finish off by just saying, it's just come to me, Cheryl, you're moving house later on the month of February. Hope everything goes well for you. It will be a new experience for you, and we trust in God that you get settled in pretty quick and get to enjoy your new surroundings. If you can remember, don't forget to post some pictures of your new apartment. And I think that will do us for now. I'll just mention Rosie Woodson, because I know Rosie's over there in Tennessee, and I know Rosie is maybe going to church and maybe getting ready at this point in time, so we'll give her an early mention on the programme today as we move on and say, nice to hear from Chris Johnson, and that sounds like home to me. And before that we had David Patilla and The Middle Man. The guys paving the way for our encouraging verse. And this week it's from Psalm 46 and verse 1. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. You know, we occasionally forget that God is always with us. When times are good for us and when we are feeling fortunate, we have a tendency to praise God. However, when those times are bad, we can become to feel that God has perhaps abandoned us at the moment we need him most. This is not true. As the Bible verse we have just read mentioned, God is very present. Two very reassuring words. So when all of those difficulties which life throws at us, God will help you get through them all. And what you need to do is to simply trust his presence, praying that this verse will encourage you and remind you of the hope we have in Jesus Christ.
Empty and broken, I came back to him, a vessel unworthy, so scarred with sin. But he did not despair, he started over again. And I bless the day he didn't throw the clay away. He is the potter, and I am the clay, molded in his image. He wants me to stay. But when I stumble, when I fall, and when my vessel breaks, he just picks up all the pieces. He never throws the clay away. Over and over, he molds me and makes me into his likeness. He fashions the clay, a vessel of honor I am today. All because Jesus didn't throw the clay away. A vessel of honor I am today. All because Jesus didn't throw the clay away. All because Jesus. All because Jesus. It was all because Jesus didn't throw the clay away.
Aren't you glad that he didn't throw the clay away? And you've got to agree. A lovely piece by Steve Wood. He didn't throw the clay away. Okay, let's do some more names. And I have a tendency to forget about all our friends over on YouTube. But that's why this second monitor has been here for the past number of weeks, to jog my memory, to remind me to say a very good afternoon and a very warm welcome to 31 people who have joined us over there on YouTube. There is several interacting, making comments, and want to say that's good. We really do appreciate that. And those are just, other people are just quietly in the background watching and listening to the music, which is great also. I want to say a very good afternoon and a very good morning to Salem, Virginia. When we mention that there, it can only mean one thing. Yes, Alita is over there. That's our good friend Alita Coleman. And Alita's in on YouTube this afternoon. She has joined us. I noticed on Facebook, Alita, anniversary. I think that's the way I'll put it. Yeah, 4 years retired. And I bet you have never looked back. And I hope you have a long and happy retirement and continue with the blessing and blessing others. And hello also to Peggy from the Glens. Yes, Peggy is in there also on YouTube. And great to see Peggy with us this afternoon. And hope all is well, Peggy, and that you weren't too affected by the storm there during the past week or so. Alita says she's getting ready for church. Yep, you go and praise the Lord, Alita. And thank you so much, giving of your time to come by the programme. David and Avril, our meters and greeters, are splitting their time between YouTube and Facebook. And they have joined you over there on Facebook. Good to have David and Avril with us today doing a sterling job. I mentioned earlier on there New York, and I just want to wish my bestie at work, that's Michelle, a very safe journey to New York on Tuesday. Also, sons William and Kane are going with her. And you know what? I hope you guys have a great holiday. And if the Mayor of New York just happens to be tuned in, folks, brace yourself. You don't know what's coming. But I hope they have a very safe trip and a very enjoyable holiday. And I just want you to do one thing for me. Say hello to Lady Liberty for me and bring back lots of happy memories, folks. Enjoy. As we move on, and we move on with some more great music. And I've got to say, hi, I'm Roy, and I want to invite you to stay tuned to the programme. We're hitting the road, so to speak, with some great music as we embark on a musical journey through Southern gospel music. We'll explore some crossroads where traditions mix and create sounds of the great Southern gospel music genre. Let's take the scenic route as we explore these great songs in pursuit of the happiness that we find in the lyrics. Join with me in listening to this next track by Doug Hudson and simply entitled 3 More Days.
I was thinking of all the promises I made you, Lord. And I know from time to time I said I'd change. But I got caught up in this world, and it's caused me so much pain. Sometimes I fought my battles, there were times I ran in shame. But if you'll give me 3 more days, Lord, I'll try to clear my name. If you'll give me 3 more days, Lord, I'll try to turn my life around. I'll walk the straight and narrow, and I'll search for holy ground. If you'll give me 3 more days, Lord, I'll try to lay these burdens down. And Lord, if I don't make it, would you give me 3 more days? It's been hard to live with all these old memories, And you know I tried and tried to make it on my own, but every time the path seems clear, there's something standing in my way. And I know I'm just a man, but I still bow my head and say, Lord, you see that I have fallen. Would you give me 3 more days? If you'll give me 3 more days, Lord, I'll try to turn my life around. I'll walk the straight and narrow, and I'll search for holy ground. If you'll give me 3 more days, Lord, I'll try to lay these burdens down. And Lord, if I don't make it, would you give me 3 more days? Lord, if I don't make it, would you give me 3 more days?
Turning Point Ministries presents the National Quartet Convention, returning to a premier vacation destination, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and returning to a center stage. Headlining the main stage are Greater Vision, The Hoppers, Mark Trammell Quartet, Jim and Melissa Brady, Triumphant, Ernie Haas and Signature Sound, Collingsworth Family, Tribute, and many others, plus gospel music's largest marketplace. Many spectacular daytime showcases, including the Singing News Fan Awards, the SGMA Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and keynote speakers like Dr. Robert Jeffress and Dr. David Jeremiah. Reserve your seats today. Visit nqconline.com or call 800-846-8499.
Okay, folks, lovely, yes, very happy memories there of 2024 at the NQC. Yep, indeed, lots of great memories. Okay, we move on with the programme. Suffice to say that Rosie Woodson is heading to Hosanna Fellowship somewhere in Tennessee. Rosie, have a great time as you join in fellowship with other believers as you begin to praise the Lord. Have a good one. And Uncle Jim Brown is in today, and he's enjoying the country gospel music that I have on the playlist today. Yes, Jim, it was one of those moments where I was going down the country gospel road. Glad you're enjoying it. Hope all is well. Big shout out to Lorraine, your sister, and all that are at St. Francis Nursing Home there in Portadown. May the Lord richly bless each and every one. And I just want to say very good morning and very good afternoon to Lois M. Kears has joined us today. Now, Lois, I noticed a few days back you were having snow, yeah, and some pretty good photographs have taken to the social media of snow in Florida, snow in Texas. It looks unusual to see a snow-covered beach, but I hope it's not too cold for you all out there, and just ride out the storm, the snowstorm, and I trust that before too long you are back to normal. You might have to crank up the heat in your homes in doing so. Ahead of President Donald Trump's recent visit to California, it has been reported that 5 new wildfires have ignited in the counties of Los Angeles, San Diego, Ventura, and Riverside. Fires have been devastating the region over the past number of weeks, with some 37,000 acres scorched and at least 28 souls lost. Meanwhile, firefighters have made some progress in bringing some of the fires under control. Can we continue to remember this situation in our prayers, and that the Lord will guide our hearts and minds as we pray.
What is a church? Where does it start? Is it a building, or is it a heart? If you know the answer, then we can agree. But it's not a building, it's a heart that's willing to let God lead. Solomon's temple was not like David's heart. Knowledge and wisdom don't make you spiritually smart. You may find yourself deceived if you can't tell them apart. Solomon's temple and David's heart. Knowledge and wisdom was Solomon's plea. He never asked God to let the Spirit lead. But David laid on his face and prayed continually. He cried for heaven's sake, Father, don't take your Spirit from me. Solomon's temple was not like David's heart. Knowledge and wisdom don't make you spiritually smart. You may find yourself deceived if you can't tell them apart. Solomon's temple and David's heart. Solomon was a wise man. Love this there is no doubt. He built the great cathedral, but he left something out. He wrote in Ecclesiastes all his vanity and despair. Even though his church looked perfect, he knew God's Spirit was never there. Solomon's temple was not like David's heart. Knowledge and wisdom don't make you spiritually smart. You may find yourself deceived if you can't tell them apart. Solomon's temple and David's heart. You may find yourself deceived if you can't tell them apart. Solomon's temple and David's heart. Solomon's temple and David's heart.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Are you celebrating a birthday today or the week ahead? Then the team here at Making Melody with Roy would like to send their very best wishes to you and say, may the peace of God be with you on this your special day. May his gifts of grace surround you as you follow in his way. May his blessing rest upon you and his wisdom guide you too. And always in all places may he love and care for you. Happy birthday for Tuesday the 4th of February, and that's going out to Gillian Stevenson over there in Scotland. See and have a great day, Gillian. Enjoy and make lots of happy memories. We catch up with a few birthdays that were during the week. Belated happy birthday, good wishes going out to Bobby Lewis, whose birthday was on Friday, the 31st of January. Bobby, I hope you had a great day, and no doubt you were spoiled by family and friends. Then on Saturday, the 1st of February, Nigel Campbell had his birthday. I know your special day, Nigel, was well celebrated, and I'm sure Gillian pulled out all the stops to make it an exciting and memorable day. Wishing you, Gillian, Bobby, and Nigel a day of happiness, a year of God's favour, and a lifetime of faith and blessing. This comes from all your friends at Country and Southern Gospel. Okay, folks, I want to delve in earnestly, yes, earnestly, into the names because I'm going to run out of time if it doesn't happen now. Hello to Harold and Irene Duncan. Hope all is well, folks. And Irene, I hope you enjoyed the introduction video there at the start. I know you get a blessing from that. Then down to Rafo and Donegal, and simply saying good afternoon and a warm welcome and hope all is well. And that's to our good friend Betty Patton, who's down in Rafo at this moment of time. Rhonda Bowman has joined us. Great to see Rhonda with us. Hope all is well, Rhonda. Then Joanne, Lydia and Elijah in Portadown are in this afternoon also. Hope you folk are keeping well. Our friend Gary Gamble has joined us. Hello also to Gary's dad. And I trust you are all enjoying the programme. Linda Jean, that's our good friend Linda Jean Watson, has joined us also today. Whether Linda's at Craigavon Area Hospital or at home in Newcastle in County Down. Trust you're enjoying the programme. Gordon and Francis, and that's the Wallaces, and they're in Dramara, and they have joined us today also. Opal Winona Reeves is there with us this morning because Opal is in Atoka in Oklahoma, and we'll say a very good morning to friends out there. That's Jim and Monica Lyon, and we trust everybody in that household is keeping well. We'll finish off by staying in America. Not sure where Deborah's from. All I can say, really enjoyed her fellowship at last year's NQC. That's Deborah Schultz, and a great singer, and we enjoy her music here on the programme. Great to have Deborah with us also today. More names as time permits, and I've got to say a moment ago that was Rabbit Easter Band and Solomon's Temple, while earlier we heard from Duke Hudson and 3 More Days. I certainly hope you enjoyed both of those songs. Thank you so much for being with me and my music. Can I just say something about our prayer room here at Country and Southern Gospel? As you know, David and Avril take care of those prayer requests which come in on a daily basis to the station. People find themselves in some rather stressful situations and just need that extra help in the form of prayer. Praying for others is by royal command. The Lord gives clear instruction about this in James chapter 5 and verse 16. Both David and Avril are available at any time to assist with requests. The power of prayer was evident at the inauguration of Donald Trump as the 47th president, with the event embracing the power of prayer, faith, and reflection. It was a bold reminder of the importance of being able to turn to Almighty God in moments of triumph and trials. President Trump, in his address, was quoted as saying, "When my enemies thought I was down and out, you and you alone, God, saved my life and raised me up with the strength and power."
My soul is thirsty, Lord. I long for Thee. Roll back the silence, Lord, and speak to me. My heart cries out to You, Your love to claim. Break through this emptiness and touch this child again. Behind this idle soul lies great desire to be delivered, Lord, and set to flames of fire. Take this empty life unworthy of Your name. Break through the silence, Lord, and touch this child again.
The very breath I breathe, I owe to Thee. Your loving kindness, Lord, remembers me. The beauty of Your love I must proclaim. Arouse my slumbering soul and touch this child again. Behind this idle soul lies great desire to be delivered, Lord, and set to flames of fire. Take this empty life unworthy of Your name. Break through the silence, Lord, and touch this child again. Break through the silence, Lord, and touch this child again. Touch this child again.
A very good afternoon to Mary White. Great to have Mary with us today. And to Elizabeth, that's Elizabeth Gardner over there in Lurgan. And Elizabeth in Portadown has joined us this afternoon also. That's Elizabeth Hopper. Good to see you in, Elizabeth. And I hope you enjoyed the Crossroad there last night. I've mentioned Uncle Jim and Bangor, and her ladyship is in this afternoon. That's our good friend Vivian Forsyth. Great to have you with us, Vivian. And Teresa Wright-Smith has joined us from the United States. Great to have Teresa with us. We'll finish off this time around by saying a very good afternoon and trust you're enjoying the music. And that's to Noel Murphy. Great to have you with us today, Noel. And just checking, 36 over on YouTube. Yes, and Selena Mannion is there and interacting with others in the chat room. And great to have you all with us. And I say a very good Sunday afternoon. And some pretty good music about this Sunday afternoon, don't you think? And you just heard there Gold City with Touch This Child Again. Reverend Franklin Graham reflected in his prayer at the inauguration, quoting from Daniel chapter 2 and verse 21. He changes times and seasons. He deposes kings and raises up others. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the discerning. Prayer is the most powerful weapon believers have. Moving on with the music and moving to say thank you so much for all your lovely comments and messages coming into this to me here in the studio. I really do read them all, and I'm so pleased to know you are enjoying the music. This next track, I'm making it my dedication track to all those names I mentioned today. It's Legacy 5 with You Have Always Been My Shepherd. Welcome to Making Melody with Roy, where the music really does make the difference.
I've never faced a storm like this. My faith is running low. I'm reaching out for answers, the only way I know. In the silence I am waiting. I know you hear my prayer. And even when it's hard to hear you, I know that you are there. You have always been my shepherd, always been my guide. No matter where I've wandered, you were right there by my side. The grace that always carries me will get me through somehow. You have always been my shepherd, so I will trust you now. I can still remember when I walked this road alone, facing all my enemies as if the battle was my own. But you left the fold to find me, and you came to where I was. So how could I give you anything less than all my love? You have always been my shepherd, always been my guide. No matter where I've wandered, you were right there by my side. The grace that always carries me will get me trust you now. When I read of how the Father left the 99, it's a story of redemption that sure sounds a lot like mine. You have always been my shepherd, always been my guide. No matter where I've wandered, you were right there by my side. The grace that always carries me will get me through somehow. You have always been my shepherd, so I will trust you now.
The Book of Psalms. Psalm 35, a Psalm of David. Plead my cause, O Lord, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for mine help. Draw out also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. For without cause have they hid for me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he hath hid catch himself. Into that very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like unto thee, which deliverest the poor from him that is too strong for him, yea, the poor and the needy from him that spoileth him? False witnesses did rise up. They laid to my charge things that I knew not. They rewarded me evil for good to the spoiling of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into mine own bosom. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily as one that mourneth for his mother. But in mine adversity they rejoiced, and gathered themselves together. Yea, the abjects gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not. They did tear me and ceased not. With hypocritical mockers in feasts, they gnashed upon me with their teeth. Lord, how long wilt thou look on? Rescue my soul from their destructions, my darling from the lions. I will give thee thanks in the great congregation. I will praise thee among much people. Let not them that are mine enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause. For they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land. Yea, they opened their mouth wide against me and said, Aha, aha, our eye hath seen it. This thou hast seen, O Lord, keep not silence. O Lord, be not far from me. Stir up thyself and awake to my judgment, even unto my cause, my God and my Lord. Judge me, O Lord my God, according to thy righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their hearts, Ah, so would we have it. Let them not say, We have swallowed him up. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at mine hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Yea, let them say continually, Let the Lord be magnified, which hath pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. And my tongue shall speak of thy righteousness and of thy praise all the day long.
Hello to Eric and Barbara. That's Eric and Barbara Drennan, Mid-Ulster, and they're enjoying Sunday lunch alongside enjoying Making Melody with Roy. Eric and Lynette, that's the Seatons over in Dramara, and they're enjoying the programme also today. I've already mentioned Gillian and Nigel, down to Glengormley and our good friends Fred and Muriel, that's the Brysons. They're in today and enjoying the programme also, as is our good friend Gail Scott. Great to have Gail with us this afternoon. We say a very good afternoon also to Amanda McAlernan, who has joined us today also and getting a blessing from the music. Alan Murphy, PSG, is in. Trust you're enjoying it also, Alan. And Elizabeth Jenkins. Great to have Elizabeth with us today also. As I continue on to tell you, there is no storm that God won't carry you through. No bridge that God won't help you cross. No battle that God won't help you win. No heartache that God won't help you let go of. He is so much bigger than anything you will face today. Leave everything in His hands and embrace this day confidently. With the most heartwarming music, this is Making Melody with Roy. Music to our ears, and it's by Anthem Edition.
Lord, it's me again, talking to my friend. I'm grateful I can always count on you. You know I've asked for help before, for you to open doors, and you've been faithful to forgive the foolish things I do. But those were the prayers of a young believer, and hopefully by now my faith has grown. If you made wine out of water at a wedding dinner, could you make my life a greater song? And let it be an anthem of your grace, a symphony of praise, lifting up your name forever. And Lord, let me live a melody that would sing of Calvary and all the mercies I've been given. Then, Lord, let the song of my life be music to your ears. To know you more, like I never have before. I long to have a deeper walk with you, and I want to make you smile, singing all the while. Every song you give, I'll sing it back to you. Let it be an anthem of your grace, a symphony of praise, lifting up your name forever. And Lord, let me live a melody that would sing of Calvary and all the mercies I've been given. Then, Lord, let the song of my life be music to your ears. Let it be an anthem of your grace, a symphony of praise, lifting up your name forever. And Lord, let me live a
King of Calvary, and all the mercies I've been given. Then, Lord, let the song of my life be music to your ears. Music to your ears.
There you have it. That was Anthem Edition, music to our ears. And some news about the guys and their very latest brand new album, Promises Kept, which is officially streaming on all major platforms. It's more than an album. It's a journey of faith, hope, and unwavering promises of God. Gail Scott, I mentioned earlier on. Gail's in Ohio. Good to have you with us, Gail. Morning time over there. I hope it's a bright winter's morning and not too cold. And Gloria Miller-Green, I mentioned earlier on also. Gloria is driving and listening at the same time. And hello and a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Pastor Raymond Cotter, who has joined us also this afternoon. If you're new to the wonderful world of Southern gospel music, well, you're in the right place. We have a few more songs to get through. Allow me to be your guide, and together we will get through it. Next, we are going to hear from the Leferva Quartet and their song, The Things We Cannot Change. Welcome to Making Melody with Roy. So glad to have your company.
All the things that we cannot change, He is the one who always stays the same. He is the light when it's hard to see. He is our strength when we are weak. He is our hope when our hope is gone. He is our right when it all feels wrong. He is the one truth that remains through the things we cannot change. When circumstance takes us by surprise, long before we even realize, God is standing there beside us all the time, every time, through all the things that we cannot change. He is the one who always stays the same. He is the light when it's hard to see. He is our strength when we are weak. He is our hope when our hope is gone. He is our right when it all feels wrong. He is the one truth that remains through the things we cannot change. Just when we think the road is safe and there's nothing we can face, when it all comes down to faith, we will find, yes, we find, through all the things that we cannot change, He is the one who always stays the same. He is the light when it's hard to see. He is our strength when we are weak. He is our hope when our hope is gone. He is our right when it all feels wrong. He is the one truth that remains through the things we cannot change. depression, every fear, through every struggle, every tear, every tear. He is our hope when our hope is gone. He is our right when it all feels wrong. He is the one truth that remains through the things we cannot change. We cannot change.
All being well, and DV, the team from Country and Southern Gospel, invite you to join them for an afternoon of friendship and fellowship, Wednesday the 5th of February 2025 from 2 until 4 in the afternoon. And that's taking place in Ballynahinch Baptist Church Hall, 24 Lisburn Road, Ballynahinch, BT 24 8BL. Tea, coffee and a light lunch will be served with community gospel singing, finishing the afternoon. The team would love to see you there. The Gospel Music Club, that's Friday the 7th of February in Ballynahinch Baptist Church, BT 24 8BL, 7 until 10 in the evening. The Low Country Boys, Michael and Friends, Ivan McAlernan, Gillian Adams, Harbison Sisters, and Graham Murphy. All will be there ministering in song and would love to see you there. Don't forget, choir practice is at 6:15, where new members are always welcome. We move on to Country and Southern Gospel CD release of Ozzy Wallace. It's entitled Bigger Than Any Mountain, and that's on Sunday the 15th of February in Ballynahinch Baptist Church at 7:30 p.m. with special guests Sharon Morrison, Billy Wilson, Colin Elliott, Amy Roberts, Sam Bright, Revival, and our very own Jim Ferguson. Light refreshments will be served afterwards. And finally, Vision for Kids. They are inviting you to an evening of praise, and that's in Ballymoney Town Hall on Saturday the 22nd of February 2025 at 7:30 in the evening. Taking part will be Joy Boyd, Philip Bowles, David McGarry, Johnny Davison and David Glenn. All funds raised will go to support Leah's Wings. That's the hospital air transfers for children. A very worthy cause, folks. A little taste of America has managed to arrive in Northern Ireland. Yes, folks, that famous Chick-fil-A, a restaurant chain, has opened its doors here in the Applegreen Lisburn Service Complex. Known for its original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and signature hospitality, another 5 restaurants are planned for 4 sites across Northern Ireland. And I'll keep you posted as to how I get on when I call and see just how good it tastes. In the meantime, I have another track by Legacy 5. Yes, double portion of blessing from these guys. Also, it's my throwback Sunday track as they're singing Christ is Still the King. Can we raise an amen to that title?
May have its kingdoms, hell may wage its wars, but they can never hinder the power of the Lord. He will not be shaken. His truth will never fail. Rest in the assurance that Jesus will prevail. The Word still has the answers. The blood alone still saves. God is still our refuge, and the gospel still remains. Souls can still be rescued, for mercy still redeems. Rejoice, the tomb's still empty, and Christ is still the King, the King. Never be discouraged or let your heart forget. There is hope and victory, for Jesus conquered death. He'll return in power, but till that glorious day, lift his banner higher, stand strong and keep the faith. The Word still has the answers. The blood alone still saves. God is still our refuge, and the gospel still remains. Souls can still be rescued, for mercy still redeems. Rejoice, the tomb's still empty, and Christ is still the King, the King. Unchanging and unmoving, sovereign and supreme, our hope and our salvation, we still declare, we still believe. The Word still has the answers. The blood alone still saves. God is still our refuge, and the gospel still remains. Souls can still be rescued, for mercy still redeems. Rejoice, the tomb's still empty, and Christ is still the King. Souls can still be rescued, for mercy still redeems. Rejoice, the tomb's still empty. Rejoice, the tomb's still empty. Rejoice, the tomb's still empty. And Christ is still the King. Christ is still the
Hello to Becky Rains Sable, who's off to church with Rosie Woodson in Tennessee. And hope you have a great morning worshiping the Lord, folks. Safe travels. Irene and Alex Gregg are in today also. And I think that's about it as far as names. Suffice for me to say, I'm kind of chuffed with the great music being played out on the programme today. Hope you have been enjoying song for song. Just now, that track by Legacy 5, Christ is Still the King. I coming back to that track. I kept coming back to that track. So glad I included it on the playlist this afternoon. And a short while ago, it was the Le Fervor Quartet. They were singing The Things We Cannot Change. I see a lot of you were blessed by the guys singing that. Just before we play our last piece, how about this for a nice wee story? The iconic piece of British heritage stands proudly among the giants of Titanic here in Belfast. Yes, a small, beautiful slice of Victorian history in the form of the pillar letterbox, which was first installed in 1889, proudly displaying the VR cipher. The V stands for Victoria, with the letter R stands for Regina, which is Latin for Queen. Located near the Harland and Wolff HQ and drawing office, this tiny monument has been around since 1886, receiving some very important mail in its time. Sadly, its use has declined, given the modern world in which we live, along with all its social media, instant messaging and email. It's tidy up time here on the programme. Thank you so much for your company today, for all your lovely messages and comments that made my screen just light up. At the end of the day, it's not about progress. Celebrate victories, forgive yourself for the mishaps, and remember, tomorrow is a new opportunity to grow, love, and do good. I think we have set the scene perfectly for the remainder of your Sunday. I'm Roy, and it's business as usual. Next week, DV, at the same time and same place from 1:30 local time. Until then, have a great week, leaving you with Brian Free and Assurance as they bring us the greatest of all miracles. Happy Sunday, everyone.
I know what Jesus did.